You're welcome to this particular tutorial, and in this tutorial we'll be designing YouTube shorts, right? This is what we'll be designing. In the normal YouTube shorts, when you go on YouTube, you click here, you're going to see this particular prototype like this, right? So this is exactly what we'll be designing in this particular video. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check the description to see if you can learn UI UX design, product design with our community. So that being said, let's get started. So I'll go basically to my Figma file. As you can see, I've opened a new Figma project, right? A Figma design project. So you can just go ahead, search a new Figma design project. And again, I've brought in some icons because these are some of the icons we'll be using for all of these engagement um, um, buttons here. So where did I get the icon from? I basically just go to extension, plugins, then Iconify. So that's the plugin I basically use. I basically just search for all of these things. So once I have my Iconify plugin loaded, you just search for thumbs up. This one is thumbs up, thumbs down. This is comment, this is share, and this is menu three dots. So you see, thumbs up is already there because I just searched for it. So if you search for thumbs up, you should be able to see it here. You click on it and you click on import, scroll down, import here to just go into your system. So I've done that. So let me just do one more just for let you guys see how it's done. So let's say this is this particular thumbs up icon I want to use. So I'll just click on import here, and the moment I import it, let me close this. It should be somewhere in my design here. So this is it here. So I normally would love to use my icons at 24 by 24. So right here, I'm just going to lock and constrain the proportion and resize it to 24, right? So the next thing I'm going to do, right, and let me give it a white color. Oops, not this one. I want to give the menu itself a white color. This is too big. So I want to give the menu itself a white color. So let's do that. So that's what I'm giving now. So this is our icon. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to make it what I'm going to make it a component. So I'm going to create a component like this for it. So the moment I create a component, I'm just going to drag it inside this particular frame. So right here, what you're seeing here is a frame, right? So basically, once you have your icon here, you can just click on frame like this and you draw your frame around it. Then you should have your icon inside that particular frame. So let's make this one dark. Right, so you should have that particular icon of yours inside this particular frame. So where is it again? So this is it. So you should have it inside that particular frame. So this is our icon basically. So you can have it there inside this particular frame, and because of you made it a component, is going to be inside that particular frame like that. So I'm going to delete this. That's just me showing us how we did this, right? So all you just need to do, as I said, import your icon, make it a component. As you can see, they are all components, and put it inside a frame called icons. The reason why I did it this way is so that when you go to assets under icons now, the reason why I seen icons here is because of I named it icons here. So I can easily just drag from any of my icons right here. So the next thing I actually want to do right now is to design these horizontal um, engagement icons, right? So all of this. So let's go ahead and design it. So for us to design that, I'm going to draw a frame like this, and I'm going to give this frame 40, right? So so let's just call this one let's call this one like, that kind of stuff. So just say like, and the color is going to be white. The opacity of this particular white color right now is going to be 20, right? So it's going to look like this. We are going to give it a border radius of 22 as well, so it's going to be circular. Now we can bring our thumbs up in here now. So let's bring this thumbs up in here. So we'll put this thumbs up here. So ensure that the thumbs up is just 20, not too big. Something like that nature we serve. So I'm going to make it that small, like that, right? So that's what I'm going to do, right? So once I have that there, the next thing I actually want to do right now is to write my text here. So I'm going to click on the text tool I'm going to type 6 points, whatever, just type anything you like, right? 6.4k. So this is the number of likes. So my text is going to be Roboto, and the font space is going to be Roboto. Then the font size here is 12, right? So I'm just going to bring it in here, and I'm going to select all of this together, and I'm going to add auto layout to it, and the spacing between the auto layout is going to be 4. Then instead of it called frame 1, I'm going to give it a frame, right? For example, now let's just call it engagement icons, right? Let's call it ENG icons, for example. So this is what it is. So with this now, I can actually use this to create other ones. So because of all of this looks similar, there is no need to like recreate it again, right? So all we can do now, this is the idea when you're working on Figma as a professional UI designer. You want to make use of component and variant a lot. So I'm just going to make this a component, right? So if I make this a component, I can easily just bring it out here, and I have my like icon here. I could bring another one again as well. But in this case right now, I could just click here, and I can easily change this particular icon. So I can easily change it to the thumbs down, which is this. Then I guess my thumbs down is not really changing. So let's do something. We're just going to only this one we are going to detach, right? So I'm going to detach this instance, this other one. Then I'm going to right click. I'm going to say flip vertical. So the reason my thumbs down did not actually change is because of the mode of this particular icon actually. So once we have this one now, the next I'm going to type here, and I'm going to type dislike, right? So I'm going to say dislike. All right, that's cool. So let's do this again. I'll duplicate this. Then this other one and is going to be comments. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to look for comments. I'll type comments here, and right here now I'm going to say 1, 2, 3. So this is my comment, right? So I'm going to duplicate this again as well. Try to select on the comments here, and I'll change this one onto share, right? So I'm going to change this one onto share here, and right here I'm going to type share. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do again is I'm going to duplicate this one too as well. Then this is the final one, which I'm going to change to the menu dots, and this share here I could just hide it because I don't need that particular one. So once I have all of this now, I can select everything together, and I will just call it give it auto layout, right? So just give some auto layout there. Then the spacings among between it, I'll just give it like 24. So 24 looks good. So instead of frame 1, I'll rename it, and I'll just call this one. This one is like my engagements, right? This is like my engagement icons. So engagements, let's just say CTA. All right, cool. Like call to action for engagement. So I have this right now. So we've done all the side engagement. So all we just need to do next, as you guys can see, is the major frame itself, which is for the UI itself. So for me to do this, I'm going to click on frame here, and I'm going to draw all of this like this, right? And probably just give it a width of 389 thereabout, and a height of 704. All right, so yours may not be this, but this is just me trying to guess the size of the video. So basically I'm trying to design this stuff now. Yeah, so let's do that. So I love to give it slightly gray. So this is where our image is going to live basically. So we're going to have that there. So there's going to be our image. So let's just call this one our video, right? Because this is going to be like the video of the stuff of the YouTube shorts. So let's call this one video. So if this is our video right now, I will just come around, I'll click here, I will draw a line, and I will draw a line of this. So holding my shifts, ensure that my line is alright, cool. It looks cool. I'll just give this a random gray. Something like this should work. Alright, align it to the bottom. So it's at the bottom like this now. So that's my first line. I'm going to duplicate it too as well. This is going to be my second line. So I'm going to reduce it. For this other one, I'm going to give it something that looks like red. Alright, so this will give us like where we've actually watched or played this particular video too, right? So, and one more thing again I also want to add here as well is the profile, right? So there's a slide profile page icon here that is on YouTube Shorts. So let's do that. So that one is going to be 40 by 40, something really small like this. So let's just say 40 by 40, right? So all we just need to do is add a little bit of border edge, probably like 4 radius like this. Then let's drop it inside here. All right, cool. So now since we have it like this, now all of this actually could, you see the way it is. Let's take a look at it. It just at the middle, at the bottom of it here. So we're just going to drag this, bring it somewhere around here, and just probably just touch it like this and take it 1 2 1 2. All right, this is like 2020 thereabout. So this looks cool. So the other thing again that we actually want to design is the space itself. But while we are designing that space, let's just call on Splash. So on Splash now would allow us to add like an image here. So while on Splash is coming up, let's still be working on our design. So the first thing I'm going to do right now is to draw my circular icon, which is still 40 by 40. So I'm going to click on my icon here. So I'll put this here right now. So this one is going to live inside here actually. We're going to ensure it's no more than 42 as well. Then you're going to have a font that is, this is going to be like your name at the username of the person. So let's just say at Neddy_I, for example, Neddy_I, which is basically Neddy I. So we could have something like this exactly at the middle. Then another thing again that we could have is our button, right? So in our button, we could just type this to say subscribe, right? So YouTube Short has this stuff called subscribe there. We're going to give it an auto layout. So I'm just going to use Shift A. Shift A is going to apply auto layout to it. So that's it there. Then add a field to it. Then the text itself should be dark, right? Something like this. And our Roboto should be semi-bold. Alright, cool. Then this right now, this is actually really, really big. So let's make this one like this and this like 12, right? Then now we could make this like 15. Alright, cool. So have our subscribe there. So this is our button. So I could go ahead and rename this and call it BTN. Alright, let me go back to Unsplash and search for podcasts. Alright, so that is from here now we are going to select an image, right? So when that one is coming up too as well, I'm going to select this like this. So this and this now is going to have their own auto layout, right? So just add it there. So let's just call the frame that it's create, let's call it user, right? Let me move this here. So let's call it user, and the spacing between them 8. Okay, that's fine. Now between our user and our button, let's add auto layout again to it, and let's double click here. So it's going to be auto like this, so that no matter how we stretch it, it's going to be left and right. So we could just leave it somewhere here, right? And this one then is going to be user plus CTA. Let us leave it like that. Then we could space it like this, and just you holding shift tap forward 1 2 1 2. So this is like, this will give us like 20 by the side, right? So that looks cool right now. So we could have it up to this point, right? So now let's look for an image. So all we just need to do for our image, I search for podcasts. I want it to look like where someone is talking, right? So we could use this other one. Let me see. Okay, this is the image I used previously, so let me use it again. So I'm just going to click this, wait for it to basically get added. So with this now, we've successfully done the video, right? As you guys can see. So the next thing that we want to do right now, so we've successfully done the video, so let me close this. So we've done this, right? So the next thing we want to do is that once you click on comment, they should be able to see this swipe like this, then before you can now basically close it. So something like this, right? So, and as you can see, once this is open, this particular store just move into the video itself here and have all our comment section looking like this. So this is what we want to do. So the first thing we're going to do is to do this particular head section, right? So let's start with that. So I'm going to type comments. So let me just select all of this and just move it down here. So let's do the other one now. So I'm going to type comments. So I'm going to type comments. Let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see it. I'm going to make it 24, and it's going to be semi-bold, right? Semi-bold is fine. And I'm going to duplicate this again. So this is my number of comments. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, for example. And this is not going to be semi-bold, of course. This is going to be regular, and this can be like 16, right? And the font itself, the color, right, could be A8, A8 thereabout. So let's see. A8, A8 should be like a gray color. A8, A8, A8. All right. So something like this. So we could have this one somewhere here now, right? So this is comment and basically the comment count. I'm going to hold it together, add auto layout to it, ensure that the spacing around between it is not more than 12, right? And I'm going to say this one is what my comments plus, let's just say comment. Comment is fine actually. So the next thing is, okay, I forgot to add some icon. So we need to look for like 2 more icons. I think I have it somewhere else. So I have this icon, I have this icon. So I will just copy it. So I'm looking for 2 more icons. So these are the 2 icons. So I brought it. So this icon, let me make it, yep, something like this. Yep, okay. This is for my X and this is also for my alignment. So these 2 icons now, let's bring it out. So we're just going to select both of them here and duplicate it and bring our icon here. So you can just go and search for this icon using that same plugin I showed you guys, which is our Iconify. You should be able to see it there, right? So once we have that, once you have those 2 icons there, the next thing we want to do right now is select both of them together and add auto layouts, right? And give it a space. So the spacing between them should not be more than 24. And let's just call those ones actions, right? So let's say actions they can actually carry. So once we have that now, the next thing we want to do is to select both of them together to create our head section, right? So we don't necessarily need to give this a color because at the end of the day, there's going to have color, but let's just give it a color. So we're going to hold everything together and we're going to add auto layout. Then we're going to ensure that the auto layout is like this. So let me be sure I did. Oh, so select these 2 together, add auto layouts, call the frame actions, right? Let the spacing between them not be more than 24. All right, cool. Then on this other auto layout now, this is the one that we're gonna say, okay, let it be auto, right? Then this other one should actually be hug. All right, perfect. So this one now, let us call it our header, right? Let us call it our header, for example. So with this now, we could give it any width of our choice. We could increase it even up to like 4 to thereabout. We could give it the background color, and the background color could be something like 212121. All right, cool. That 2121 is great. It's even almost the same color with this. The entire background. Let's make this darker. All right, I made the entire background darker so that we can actually see this stuff. Or you could also make it lighter. Anyone that works for you. Okay, let's make it a little bit lighter. I think making it lighter works better. So with this now, we could just give it a padding of 20 like this. So this looks really nice. So this is the heading. So this is us now designing this particular heading section, right? Which is really, really good. All right, cool. All right, so now that we have this, So the next thing we want to do now is we want to design this particular comment section, right? So let's go ahead and design that. So for me to design that, the first thing I'm going to do is to type my text at the username first, which is going to be Neddy underscore I. I'm going to ensure that I have this other color A8888, right? Very minute color there. This is going to be regular, and this should not be more than 12 because it's very small. Then we could have this too as well. So we could have some Lorem Ipsum text here actually. So let me just type what I typed before. See, I just want to let you all know that Jesus Christ loves you all and he is coming soon. Alright, so not that much, so something like this works. So we could just reduce it. Something like this works too as well. We could make this 14 or 16, but I think 14 works. Then the color should actually be white, right? So having a white color is actually great. So the next thing now that we want to do, this one too as well should have something duplicate like this. And right here we should type like, when did they post this, right? So this could be like 2 minutes ago. Alright, so this one now could be full white too as well, just to show that particular contrast, or not necessarily full white, something like this, right? Alright, cool. That looks great, so that it will not contrast with this other one. So we could select this together now. We'll add auto layer to it, and so that the spacings between them is no more than 4. And we could call this other one, of course, user, right? We'll call it user, right? So we have this, we have the comment itself. So the next thing we want to do also is the drop down this particular icon now. So let's get this icon from here and bring it down here. So we could actually reduce this to, let's say, 20 or 16. Let's say 16, and let's see if it's possible. Is it possible to give this a stroke? Okay, I think it's possible, so we could actually hide the fill. Alright, cool. I didn't know it's possible, right? So so because in the actual design itself, this stuff is actually outlined, right? So I think we have our thumbs up looking really cool like this, and it's 16 by 16. So I'm just going to duplicate this, and I'm going to type 16. So this shows that we have about 16 likes, right? So we could merge this together, give it auto layouts, and call this, and rename it and call this one like button. So the spacings between them could be like 4, 2 as well, and they should be aligned at the middle. So we could have another one, but this other one now could be something like. So I'm going to use shift to just put it like this, right? So this is really nice. So this shows that thumbs down, so there is no any icon here that will show. So the next thing now that I also want to do is to show like the reply, right? So I'm going to click on this, right, and I'm going to type reply. So I'll just replicate it there and ensure that this one is full white. So we'll have reply here. So I'm going to draw a simple shade like this and probably give it a color like this particular color. This is cool. That is 465 A65. All right, so this is going to be like love icon, so other people have actually liked this particular stuff, so you can always see it there. So Twitter YouTube short has this little stuff. So so we could choose to increase it to like 12, right, if we want to, so which is not bad. So this is where we are going to bring another icon, which is this one. So I'm going to bring it here right now. I'm going to make it really small, right? So let's see if we can make it more like 8 thereabouts. Let's ensure that this stuff is reducing alongside it. Coming, let me detach this. Alright, let's do it again. It's not giving me what I want. Alright, something like this actually. So we don't want it to be so much. So something like this works. So we could just actually bring it here. So it's going to be on top. So something like this actually. Alright, so we could group this one together, Control G, and just name the group just call it love, right? Cool. So it's going to be there like that. So I want to group this together, and I'm going to add auto layer to them, and the spacings between them now is going to be like 12. So the spacing between them and the spacing between these other ones is not the same, it's a little bit closer, right? So we'll call this one dislike plus love. All right, I love to rename my frames. So now we can now have this, and this together right now, and add an auto layer to it, and let the auto layer not be more than 24. So something like this. So let's call this other one reactions. All right. All right. So we have this now. So all we just need to do now is to add auto layer here, and auto layer here. So select these two together as well. Then we're going to add auto layer to it as well. Then the spacing between them should be like 12, which is really cool. Then now this is going to be so this is going to be like our comment section, right? So let us call it comments. Let's just use one word, comments, right? Then the next thing I want to do now is to have my my username. So I'm going to use this instead, and I'm going to call this this could be user or avatar. Let's call it avatar or user avatar, anyone. I think user avatar makes more sense. User avatar make more sense, and show that it's cycle 20. I'm using frame instead of using regular cycle. Then I'll give it this color. So this avatar has two options. So we have the variant where it is the initial, and we have the variant where it is a real human being that is there. So we could do those two actually. So I could come in here now, I could type like let the initial now be n, and I will say let the n and be bold, right? And this should be 24 thereabouts. Put it at the middle here. So this is like the initial, right? Instead of bold, let's make it semi-bold instead. So this is like the initial, right? So I could make this a component, add a variant of it. Oops, I think I did the wrong thing. I wasn't selecting the right thing. So that you select the right thing, make it a component, add a variant of it. But in this particular variant right now, we don't want this particular end, but we want this. So I will go ahead and I'll look for plugins. There's a plugin called user. So I'm just going to search for that particular plugin now. So this one, user profile, yeah. So it's going to like help me to so that I can auto generate like user profiles. So if I click here, basically it will basically just generate any profile for me. So it has generated a profile for me, so that's fine. So I can actually take this up here right now, put it somewhere here. So this is like the initial, right? So if we want to rename this particular variant now, we could come over here and say let this one be states, this one be, let this one be initial, and let this one be DP. There's a display, that means there is a display picture there. So we could just go ahead now and use it. So I'm just going to bring a part of it here, an instance of it here right now. So this and this is going to make my entire component, right? So I'm going to select this and this right now. I'm going to add auto layout to it, ensure it's somewhere around here, and the spacing of course is not also no more than 12, something like this. So now this is our let us say user comments, right? So let's say user comments. So this is what we are looking for. This is exactly what we want to do. Now that we have something like this is really good, right? So now that we have something like this, all we have to do right now is to go ahead and specify what we want, right? So let's go ahead and do this. So now that we have this right now, all we need to do is to duplicate it a couple of times. So you could also make this a component if you want to, but I'm not going to make it a component. I'm going to just duplicate it like this, select it together, add auto layout, ensure that the spacing between them is no more than 24. So with this now, we could now call this one our comment. So this is where all comments exist, and we could give it a background color. The background color should be this same gray, something like this works. Then we can give it 20, 20, right? So basically I want this to be the same size as this. So we could select this and select it be fill. Let this other one too also be fill. Okay. So let this one also be fill. Alright, this makes more sense. I can even duplicate this right and delete this other one. So something like this makes more sense. So we have this. Alright, that's cool. So I could actually duplicate this a couple of times, right? So if I put it in here now, we have something like this, right? Don't necessarily need to touch for now. So the next thing now that we want to design on is this particular area, right? So we want to design this particular area right now, which is the add a comment section. So let's go ahead and design that particular one. So that will be very, very easy because it's this same icon that we are going to use. Let me close this. It's this same icon. So if I come over here right now, you see the icon, the avatar here. That's what we're going to use, but this time around, we want to use the DP, the display picture. So we're just going to put it in here right now, and we are going to type add a comments. I'm going to type add a comments, right? And this should be 1, 2, 3. This should actually be regular. Sorry, regular. The font sizes should not be more than 16, of course, I believe. Then it should not be fully white, slightly gray. I'm just giving it any color that comes to my mind. All right, so I'm going to add some line too as well. So this line is going to depict like the input field where they are going to type, and we could give this also a slightly gray color, right? But any color we give this, actually, this is 8B, 8B. Let it be the same color that we are going to give this text to. So if it's too dark, later we'll come and resolve it. So I'll select both of them together right now. I could just add auto layout to it and rename the frame that it's going to create. I'm going to call it input. Sorry, I didn't spell that well. Input. All right. So we have that now. So now that we have our inputs, we have this user. We could actually now add auto layout again. So if we add auto layout to add a fill, then this color should be the same color as this, right? Then we are going to type the padding should be 20. This should also be 22 as well, and this should not be more than this. So this should be somewhere around here. So such a way that this other one now we can actually say fill and everything works. So let's look at the line too as well and ensure that the line is not fixed. It's also filled too, so I can actually just easily adjust like this. So once we have this now, we could ensure that it is at the middle and the space around it here is no more than 24 as well. Then this one now, let's call it footer. Let us assume this is our footer, right? Because it's underneath it. So we're going to give it a stroke. The stroke we're going to give it is going to be only at the top. So we're going to specify just at the top there. And just give it something, not that much, that'll make it show. So we have something like this right now. So with this now, we could just select everything here right now, which is 1, 2, 3, and we could add auto layout to it, and the spacing between them will be 0. And this particular frame now is, we're going to call it anything that we like, right? So this could be our comments sidebar. Okay, let's use that word, comment sidebar. All right, cool. Then with this now, we could bring this to this particular point. This thing is going to serve as an absolute element, right? So I will be treating it like that. So it's going to have like an absolute element. So if we have this together now, as you can see, all we just need is this other one. We choose to, because I want it to be at exactly the same point, so which is exactly at the same point. So all we need to resize if we want to resize is this other one, so which is actually good. So what we want to know, so this is fixed. So if this is fixed, so we want to be able to ensure that we could actually have a lot of this going up, as you can see. So it is fixed like this, then we're going to clip it, so we're not going to see anything that is outside it. So this is going to be like the overflow, but we can go to prototype. While selecting it, we can now say overflow vertical, so we can scroll through it when we prototype it. So we're going to test all of that too as well. So now that we have this, everything looks cool. All we just need to do right now is to put it inside a frame. So this other one too needs to come in here to something somewhere around here. So this is exactly what we have. So I want to ensure that the spacing between here is not more than, let's see. Alright, cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, cool. So this is 2020. So everything looks cool. 2020. So we have this now. So as you can see, we've done our design. And the only thing that is left for us to do right now is to basically select this together, and add a frame. So for you to make it a frame, you can use Control Alternate F, or let me just do it. Just right click and say group, so you can group selection, right? So if you group selection, they're in a group, you see group here, you can now switch it to frame. So they're now in a frame selection. So this is our shot. So let's call this one shot, right? So this is how it is. This is like how it's going to look like. So inside our shot, right, we have just I would love to have 3 elements in it. So this one is the sidebar, so let the sidebar be the one underneath it here. Oops, I think I didn't do it well. Let this video be the one at the top. So the video is the one at the top, the first one, then the sidebar is the second one. Inside the video section, we have this engagement here. I don't actually want the engagement to be on anything, I just want it to be at the top. So we have 3 stuff now. So we have the engagement, we have the video, and we have the sidebar. Now, the reason why I arrange it like this so that I can easily prototype it, right? Now, let's even add some stuff here. So I'll just call this plugin back. I'll go to history. I'll just call this one there. Select this one. Click here too as well. So we have this guy everywhere. All right, this looks cool. This could actually be someone else that wants to add comments. It might not be the same person. So let this one be someone else. Let it be someone else. So history, let's see. Okay, I don't have any history. Let's just generate a new person. All right, black person. All right, that's cool. All right, this looks nice. So now that we have this here, so all we need to do right now is to basically frame this. So to prototype this so it could work. Right, so let's prototype it. For us to prototype this right now, the first thing we're going to do is to make this entire thing a component. So as this is selected, I'm going to make it a component. So once I make it a component, I'm going to add a second variant. So this is going to be our first state. So in our first state, I'm going to select this one, which is the comment section, as you guys can see. So it still remains the same thing like this. So this comment section, I'm just going to move it like this. So I'm holding shift and my arrow key to move it. So I'm going to move it is completely hidden, right? Then once it's up to this point, I'm going to hide it. Then this engagement, I'm going to bring it outside. 1, 2, like this. So this is going to be our default state. Now, this of course is going to be how it's going to look like when it is open. So all we just need to do now, once we've done it like this, we can prototype it. So this is now, so this one, yeah. So when you select everything like this, you're going to see this frame. So you can feel free to just resize your frame. Right, so I can just resize this particular frame like this now. So this is this and this is this. So all I need to do now is to prototype it. For me to prototype it, right, this prototype is going to work with the comment section only, just only this comment section. So I'm going to click on prototype and I'm going to click this right now and I'm going to put it right here. So I'm going to call this instead of instance, I'm going to say smart animate. So this is going to give me smart animate. I'll just leave it by the default settings. Then this other one, closing it as well. So I'm going to select this X to close it. I'm going to take it back here too as well. So it's going to still be smart animate 2 as well, right? And that is it, guys. That is literally it. That is literally it, right? So we have two variants here. So just for the sake of things, the second variant that we could just name it something else. We could just say, okay, let this one be, let's call this one open, right? Open. This is true, which simply means this is open. Why this is open? This one is what? False, right? This looks cool, right? So anywhere now that we want to use this particular shot in our design, all we just need to do is to make use of this particular component, and we could toggle between the closed version of it and the open version of it. As you guys can see now, it's easy for us to move between the closed, the open version of this, right? So let's play it now and see if we get it. So all I'm just going to do, I'm going to click this. I'm going to click on the desktop view here, the 1440 desktop view. Just make it full black, right? And I'll bring this in it. When I bring this in it, I will ensure that it's exactly at the middle, like this. So this looks cool. All right, so this looks really, really cool. Then let's just name this one our desktop. So I want to ensure that even when it is closed like this stuff is actually always at the middle. So I can actually give this something that looks like an auto layout and ensure that this stuff is always stuck at the middle. So let's try it again. Perfect. So this is something like this is what I want. So let's go ahead and play this and see what is going to give us and see if we got it. So let's start with close version first. So I'm going to click this right now and I'm going to preview it. All right, as you guys can see, it has previewed, so we can easily just click here right now. It will show, and we'll click here as well. So this is exactly how it is on YouTube, right? So this is designing of the web version of YouTube Short, right? So let me know in the comment section if you enjoyed this particular video, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment underneath its UI design tutorial so that the YouTube algorithm is going to share this particular tutorial with more people. And also we'll be making more designs too as well. So if you want us to continue creating tutorials, daily tutorials like this, just do let us know in the comment section and we'll ensure that every week we'll be dropping some tutorials for you guys, right? So do have a wonderful time. We'll see again. Bye bye, guys.